Hello everybody, it's UXW Bill here again. It's been a while since I made an IBM PS2 video, so I figured it was time to do that. I got a new PS2 recently, and there's something special about it. It's buried in all this crap right now. You can just kind of see it down there. And as soon as I get it out, I'll tell you what that is. Alrighty, here it is, out of the box, out of the mess. And here's what's so special about it. This is an IBM PS2 Model 85. Now, for many years, I've been looking for a particular type and model of the PS2 Model 85. I have several of the PS2 Model 85X series, which are indicated by an X being the middle digit of the last three digits of the type model number. So you might have, if you were looking for one of those, you might find it known as a 9585 0XF or 0XG or 0X0, all of which are machines that I have. Well, the 9585X is a nice machine. In fact, if you look in my other videos, you can see it playing an MP3 file and doing some other things. But it's the base model of the 9585. There's another model known as the K or N, where the middle digit of the last three digits of the type model number are either a K or an N. I've been looking for one for probably the better part of 10 years now, almost since I started collecting PS2s, and I've never found one, on eBay or otherwise. I can only guess that they're not very common. Well, I've looked for one forever, had some people in the U.S. that had one, couldn't seem to get a hold of it, and then one day a man from Germany contacts me and says he has one, and he's willing to ship it to me here in the United States of America. Well, I took him up on his offer. It wasn't particularly cheap to get it over here, although it wasn't as shockingly expensive as I thought it would be. And so here is my first IBM PS2 Model 9585 K or N machine. Now, this being a model that was originally delivered for sale overseas, has a type model of 9585E13. However, internally it's the same thing as a K or N model 9585. Anyway, for making a trip all that distance, it's really in pretty good shape. There's no major scuffs or scrapes on the paint or the paneling. This back panel needs a little bit of help. It's a little bit discombobulated there, and there's a piece broken out of it here, but I found the piece in the box, so that's not a problem. And I probably have to look over the power supply and make sure that it's set to 115 volts instead of 230. Otherwise, I might break something. I've been inside the machine and looked over it, and it seems to be pretty well intact and ready to go. So in this video, I'm going to give it a test run-up for all of you to watch. Here's the motherboard inside a PS2 Model 85K or N model. This differs from the X model in a couple of ways. First of all, it supports more memory. It supports up to 256 megabytes of ECC memory from IBM. I think this machine's got 16 megabytes in it right now, but I have a desk drawer full of 16 megabyte IBM ECC memory modules, so it won't be any problem to replace those. Where the X models have standard narrow SCSI on board, the K and N models have fast wide SCSI on board. There's a cable adapter here to go from the onboard fast wide connector down to a 50-pin narrow SCSI bus. I intend to convert this machine at some point to be fully fast wide SCSI inside and out. There's a level 2 cache module that the X models don't have. The X models also have a soldered down 486SX processor. The K or N models don't have that. They have a 486DX2 microprocessor clocked at 66 megahertz in a low insertion force socket that has an extra row of pins along the outside to accept a so-called Pentium overdrive processor. Although the people who have tried this have had distinctly mixed results from doing so. Anyway, the next thing to do here, after I've got this machine put back together, there's the power supply flipped out of it, is to go ahead and give this thing a run-up and see what happens. Well, the moment has arrived. Time to power up and see what happens. Looks promising. See if we get out of the screen. Beautiful. There never was a later BIOS issued for these machines. They all say revision level 0. So let's go into System Programs. It's got 32 megabytes of memory in it. Hopefully it's got a convenience partition on the hard drive, and we can go into the System Programs and give it a good testing out. But I think it's going to be 100% okay. It's running right along, and I'm just so thrilled to have it after all these years of looking. So now we can just go in here and run the diagnostic tools. Be interesting to see what this machine turns into. I haven't decided what I wanted to do with it yet.